Hello everyone and welcome to LTspice tutorials. In this tutorial we explain how to simulate operational amplifiers in LTspice. To demonstrate the general ideas and to explain the simulation principles, we will be using the circuit shown over here. This circuit shows the inverting operational amplifier configuration whose purpose is to amplify and to invert this input voltage. In this video tutorial we will cover the basics of operational amplifiers and we will explain how to verify the basic equations in LTspice. Before we start with simulations, let's first briefly revise the basic theory and the working principle of the inverting operational amplifiers. These theoretical results will enable us later on in this video tutorial to validate the LTspice simulation. So let's start. Over here you can see a basic configuration of the inverting operational amplifier. RS and RF are two resistors that are used to adjust the gain of our circuit. On the other hand, U is the applied input voltage and Y is the output voltage. Plus VCC and minus VCC are power supply voltages that are used to provide power to our circuit. From the basic theory and from the working principle of the inverting operational amplifiers, we can see that the ratio of the output voltage compared to the input voltage is given by this equation. Namely, the ratio is equal to minus RF, that is this feedback resistor, over this RS resistor. That is, by properly selecting RF and RS, we can adjust the gain of this circuit. And note over here that this is a steady state gain. The name inverting comes from this minus sign over here. Namely, the output voltage will have a minus sign with respect to input voltage, and it will have a gain. And that's the reason for the word inverting. We are inverting the sign of the voltage. Okay, let's start with simulations. First of all, when you open LTspice, you will see this welcome screen. Then click on File and click on New Schematics. And let's start adding the elements or components. The first step is to add our operational amplifier. For that purpose, click over here and then find this option or this folder op amps. Double click on that and then go all the way here and search for Universal Op Amp 2. And over here you can see description. This is a single pole op amp with one internal node, slew rate limit and output voltage and current limit. And this is all we need to demonstrate the working principle. Of course, you can also test some other options. If you cannot find this option, here you can also search Universal Op Amp 2. So let's click on Place. Now, let's click here and then let's do the right click. What you need to do right now over here is to press the right mouse button on top of the op amp and let's see what is written over here. We can see already here some predefined parameters. AVOL is an open loop amplification and you can see it's quite large. GBW is basically the product of the bandwidth and the gain. Then you can see the slew and you can see the current limit. Okay, let's keep these values as they are, so we will not change them, and click on OK. Next, we need to add the two resistors. To add the two resistors, simply click here, then press Ctrl R to rotate them and place this feedback resistor over here, and let's do the right click. Over here, you can click or do the right click, and let's call this resistor as RF. Good. Next, let's add another resistor, again here, do the right, Ctrl R, right, and click over here. Then let's call this resistor, similarly to our model, let's call it as RS. And let's over here do the right click and adjust it to be RS. Okay, now we have our two resistors. Next, let's connect these resistors. This resistor goes to non-inverting input of our amp, and this resistor over here is a feedback resistor. So consequently, make sure that you connect all the nodes properly. And here we are. Next, we need to add the ground. To add the ground, we need to basically find this option here and click here, and then do the right click and connect this ground to this non-inverting input, and that's it. Okay, the next step is to add our input voltage. To add our input voltage, simply click here and place the input voltage here, then do the right click, zoom out. Let me properly zoom out from here and zoom in. And over here, let's add the ground. Click here and add the ground node. Do the right click, connect the ground to this one, and connect this input voltage to our resistor. And here we are. Okay, so far so good. Next, let's adjust the values. Over here, do the right click and adjust this value to be, for example, maybe like 2 volts. We can start with a small value. Okay. Next, let's select RS and RF. But for that purpose, let's go back over here. And let's say that we want to have a gain of 5. To have the gain of 5, we can see that from this equation, RF, for example, can be 1000 ohms, and RS should be then 200 ohms. This will give the amplification of 5. So let's adjust these parameters here. Go back, do the right click and set, for example, 1000 ohms. And over here, click here and select, for example, 200 ohm. And click here. Good. Now we expect that the gain of this circuit will be 1000 divided by 200, and this gives 5. Next, we need to add the positive power and negative power such that our circuit can work. To do that, you need to again click here, click over here, and then do the same thing from below. Here, do the right click, and then let's do the following. Let me just move it for a second. You can, for example, click here and move this one such that everything is compressed, and you can do the same thing with this one. Click here and move it here. Something like this. Okay, and so let's connect the terminals. First of all, we need a ground over here, and we need a ground over here. Do the right click, and now let's connect the nodes. Connect the ground with this power supply. Here you connect it. You can connect it like this. Then let's do the same thing for the upper. Click here, click here, click here, and then you can click here and do the right click. And next, let's adjust the values. Right click over here and adjust this value to be, for example, 15. And then I will zoom out, and this one should be minus 15. For that purpose, do the right click, or let me just zoom out. You need to basically do right click here and select minus or enter minus 15. Okay, that's it. Let's analyze our circuit. These terminals are properly connected to the plus power and minus power. Then we have our feedback resistor, we have our RS resistor, and we have the input too. Okay, the next step is to simulate this circuit. There are several methods to simulate this circuit. I'm going to use transient analysis, although the transient analysis is not completely necessary over here. However, I'll be using transient analysis just for comparison purposes and because it produces nice graphs. First of all, click here and then click on transient and adjust the stop time to be, let's say, 0.01. This is the final time of our simulation, and click over here and click on OK and place it here. Do the right click, and then let's click here, and this will simulate our circuit. And after some time, the circuit will be simulated and this graph will appear. However, you don't see anything on this graph. Well, the reason for that is that we didn't select what we want to plot. To show you the easiest way and the least confusing way to plot the results, I will click on net here, and then I will call my net as Y, capital Y, and then I will place the net over here on the output. So this will be my output, and then again I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to again enter the value here, U, and this will be U. So click here. Okay, now I have output node and I have input node. Next, click again to simulate again, and then do the right click here, click on add traces, and you will see V of U. This is actually the input voltage corresponding to this node, and you will see V of Y. This is the voltage of the output node. So let's first click here and click OK. However, already here a few things are showing up. I'm going to delete this trace and I'm going to delete this trace for the time being, and let's see what happens. We can see our input voltage. We can see that the input voltage is 2 volts. Okay, so far so good. Let's do the right click and then let's click on add traces and click on V of Y. And then this blue line will show the output voltage. Let me adjust the color of this line. You can simply click here, or actually let me do this. Right click on this one and let's use some other color that is more visible. For example, this red color, and okay. Okay, now we can see our input voltage represented by this green color and our output voltage represented by this red color. So let's analyze this circuit. The input voltage is 2. Since this resistor is 1000 and this resistor is 200, we expect that the output voltage will be minus 10. And that's precisely what's written over here. This is a proof of principle that we have properly simulated this circuit. However, let's verify this by changing the values. For example, if I right click here and if I, for example, specify here 400, I expect amplification of 2. And if I repeat this again, I can see here 2, and here I can see minus 4. This means that this circuit works properly. However, let's verify one final thing. Namely, if the amplification is such that, or basically the input voltage or the amplification is such that the output voltage is above 15, then our circuit will go in saturations. That is, the output voltage can never go above 15. So let's verify that. To do that, over here I'm going to do right click and then let me set, for example, amplification to be 10 times, right? To have 10 times amplification, I will place here 2000 and click OK. Now, 2000 divided by 200 gives you 10. And let's now play and let's see what will happen. We can see that the output voltage is saturated at minus 15. This is because we have this power supply over here and the voltage, it can never exceed the power here. So let's verify this by changing here, for example, let's specify minus 25. That is, let's increase the operating range, and over here do the right click and increase the operating range to 25. And then let's repeat the simulation, and here we are, minus 20. We are below the negative saturation limits. This means that our circuit is properly simulated. Okay, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.